Hi! Now that the temperatures have dropped and we have shorter amounts of daylight, I want to help you bring fresh green herbs and veggies inside your house, something that can keep you going all through the winter. So sometimes these are called microgreens. You can call them whatever you want to. And it's a really fun family activity to do, and it's also great for kids to do with a little bit of adult supervision, or grown-ups to do totally on their own. So the step one is to get some kind of container to plant your seeds into. Maybe step one is actually to have some seeds to plant. And some examples of those are any kind of green that you normally eat. So lettuce, cabbage, bok choy, broccoli, tatsoi, all the Asian greens, spinach, and then all kinds of herbs that are good for fresh eating. Basil comes to mind, cilantro, dill, parsley. I would avoid the woody herbs like thyme and rosemary, because those are not as good for just what we're going to do here. Here are 3 stages of greens that I have. This is yet to be planted. This is little, just a week old greens and more mature. So this is our end goal. When we get to this stage, we are going to want to cut off or pick off the oldest outermost leaves. So doing a little hold the plant down at the end and pinch that leaf off. And if you have a bigger container and have more of these in there, you'll get more leaves. These are great to add on top of salads, add on top of soups, just fresh eat. They're fantastic on sandwiches, any of the things that you would do with sprouts and little greens. So good. These are really close and clumped together. This is mustard greens, and they are great in little tiny sprouts. I can leave them close together like this and just cut them straight off the top. You'll only get 1, maybe 2 harvests, keeping them close together like this. With these, if you keep pinching off the outermost leaves and keep it watered and have good nutritious compost or soil with a lot of nutrients in there, they will keep going for several months of just cutting off the outer greens. So if you have clumps like this and you want them to last longer, something that you can do is kind of pinch up the clump, and then we'll gently take the plants apart. And they're pretty durable, and shake it until you get just 1 little root. We don't want to bury it too deep, so I'm just going to make a little divot with my finger. Gently place that in there and pack it around. I could probably fit in, this is a 3-inch pot. I could probably fit like 3 or 4 across the top. 3 would be good across the top. So you can separate them out, and want to just go over planting seeds. So here in my hand, I have 2 different sized seeds. So here is cilantro, and here is tatsoi, which is kind of like bok choy and a delicious Asian green. So seeds of different sizes will be planted at different depths. You want to plant the seed no more than 3 times its depth. And if you're doing this with kids, it's always helpful to point out to them the line on their index finger, that first line. The cilantro seeds, you want to push a hole for a little kid, or no more than that first line, and for a grown-up, no more than half line deep into And I like to just make little divots so I can know where my seeds are gonna go, and put 2 to 3 seeds in each hole. And then I'm just gonna gently cover them up. And then if I'm going to plant something like the little seeds of the tatsoi, I'm just going to smush a little part of the soil aside, and then just ever so lightly, you almost aren't covering at all for these little tiny seeds. They want to be able to have some light exposure. So now that my seeds are planted, I want to be sure to water it. And when you are choosing your containers, you want to be sure to pick something that has drain holes in the bottom. Berry boxes are a great way to upcycle these, as are plastic clamshell containers. Something else you could use, or any kind of plastic container that you maybe have around your house. You want to poke some holes in the bottom of that to get the drain holes, and then you have this built-in garden tray to catch any water that drains out. So that's a super useful tool. If you were using garden pots or a berry box or plastic clamshell, something that doesn't have that built-in tray, looking around your kitchen or maybe going to a secondhand store and looking for like a baking dish that is maybe underutilized, or a baking tray that isn't getting used. Now that you have these, there are 5 things that all living things need. They all need light, they all need air, they all need water, they all need a space to be, and they all need food. So going back to the food of the soil that these are planted in, having rich compost is going to be the best bet for these kind of microgreens. I always love coast of Maine soil. Their lobster compost would be fantastic for something like this. And always, if you have any questions, email me or check me out on Instagram at Cannon Botanicals. And we'll see you next time. Bye.